We really are amazing salesmen. We are amazing salespeople for the status quo. We are incredible at being salespeople for the status quo, for convincing ourselves that the status quo is really where it's at and really what it is that we want. It would be one thing if we could be grateful for the status quo, if we could exist in gratitude for this is the status quo, this is the way things are, this is the way my life is, I'm very grateful for that, and at the same time be clear about what it is that I want. That's sort of the secret of moving, is to be able to be grateful for the status quo, to know gratitude in that, but to be very clear about what it is I want and where I want to go and what it is that I want to do. That would be the ideal. But what you're going to find out is that that's the ideal you're building into your clients' lives, is this ability to be grateful and to become clear. Grateful for what is, grateful for the status quo, and out of that sense of gratitude to be clear about what it is that they really want to do and where it is, not even what they really want to do, really clear about what they think they want to do, about what it seems like they want to do, about what these hunches are, that the more you follow them, the more information they give you. To the contrary, what you're going to probably find is that as we are salesmen for the status quo, we're very good at rationalizing. We're very good at, this is okay. You hear people talk about, how are you today? Okay. Life is okay, okay, things are okay, life is okay, things are all right. How are you? Oh, I'm all right, things are okay. You hear that language a lot? Is that familiar language for you? How are you? I'm okay, yeah, I'm okay. Well, I've learned to hear that, and you're going to learn to hear it if you haven't already, as the language of rationalization. It's the language of desensitization. It's the language of really being sensitive to what it is that I'm really feeling about what I'm doing. Because if I really felt it and I really experienced it, I would be discontent. And that discontent would create a contrast that I am not wanting to look at. And if you remain, of course we can remain so long in that desensitized, rationalized sort of state of mind that it gets worse and worse and worse. And that's when we begin to see people head for counselors and therapists, because they become, they move into depression, they move into states of mental illness that become very clearly diagnosable and are issues for counseling. Even in addiction, is that what people have done is use an addiction to have layer after layer after layer after layer of stuff going on that they're doing so that they don't feel their feelings. And one of the big adjustments in working with addiction is you get to that place where you start feeling real feelings. And that's a very, very touchy place in recovery from any kind of an addiction, is that when you realize you've used all these things, substances or shopping or whatever it is, food, whatever it may be, to cover up real feelings. That at some point in that recovery, you're going to touch what are those real feelings that tell you where you really are in terms of where you're in contrast in your life, about what it is that you're really wanting and not wanting. One of the problems and one of the difficulties that we have with addiction groups is they keep people in this groupy thing and cause people oftentimes through sponsorship and through other things to never trust their own feelings. They're kind of taught to don't ever trust your own feelings. Your own feelings are not to be trusted. You are powerless. You always need the group, or you always need somebody else to tell you what you're feeling. Well, that's not really real recovery. I can tell you there are people who grow wonderfully in recovery, and they do get to the place where they can trust themselves and trust their own feelings and move into the kind of contrast that we're talking about today.